Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today, if you can't tell by the cot in the back of the truck, we're going to be doing a solo overnight camping in the truck video. Now here are a couple of my concerns. One, if you can't tell, it's overcast. And it's cold. It is in the 50s right now. Supposed to get down into the 40s tonight. So here are my concerns. One, I have to get out of the wind. Well, we're in all these trees and stuff. We should be able to stay out of the wind just fine. Plus, we're going to tarp the top of the truck. The second one is staying dry because it's supposed to rain on and off today, all night, and into the morning. So we have to be able to stay dry. And with the toolbox in the truck, this cot goes almost to the end of my truck bed, with the tailgate down, meaning I have to be able to keep the tailgate down. So when I tarp this, I have to be able to tarp it and incorporate that my feet have to come almost to the very end of the truck bed. On top of that, everything is already wet. It's been raining all day, on and off, and everything's soaking wet, which means we can't have a fire. But up in that box up there, which is the first thing that I have to get down, is my cooking gear with my little propane stove. So we'll still be able to cook, we'll still be able to stay warm, and stuff like that. So what I have to do first is get the cooking stuff out and then set up this tarp to cover the entire truck bed plus the foot. And it's a 12 by 20 tarp. I don't know if it's going to be big enough. I have another tarp in the truck in my toolbox that will hopefully, them two combined, will be able to work. But we're going to get it set up here and I'll see what I can do. Alright guys, I got this thing all set up inside and out. Took me about 30 minutes, which depending on what kind of tent you have, it could take you about the same amount of time, but can't pop a tent up in a truck stop parking lot or anything like this. You can pop this up. So I'm going to give you a little look at it. Is it the prettiest thing in the world? No. Does it work? Yes. It is cool out here, outside of it, and inside of it I was sweating so bad I had to take my jacket off. I mean, I was actually dripping sweat, because it cuts all wind and it's 100% waterproof. So kind of here's your look. There's the truck, the rest of the rack, and we drop off to the tarp. I know it doesn't look all tight and pretty like a lot of people who set up tarps does, but this works really well. Again, over here, I have the excess wrapped around to create a wall in the front. The back, this tightness here is because of the bed. The bed is actually right here, but I still have plenty of room for my feet. This is how I get in and out. And at night, when I'm ready to go to bed, I take this one, connect it right here. Make sure I pull this all the way to the corner. From the inside, you just push it to the corner. It's all tight and stuff, so water will run directly down this face onto the ground, and I'll show you how it works in the front on the inside. Alright, so we are now sitting in the inside, and like I said, there is no wind in here. It is way warmer in here than it is out there, and your body heat kind of naturally warms this up anyway. But I'm going to give you a look at everything, show you what I got going on, and I'll let y'all be the judge of it. Alright, so this is the inside. I got my little cooking area right there. That's the reason the vent hole is right there, but that's my back wall. The top of the tarp goes over it, so if it's to rain and run down it, it runs down onto the cab of the truck. Any blowing rain stops up against the tarp and runs off of the bed back behind the toolbox. So it runs off the bed. So the bed floor, which has this rubber mat on it naturally, which helps hold in heat, won't get wet or anything like that, and if it did, it would actually run under the rubber mat, so that's no big deal. But there's my cooking setup. It's a propane cooker, my dishes, my seasoning, my cutting board. There's more stuff in there, like a lighter, more seasonings, paper towels, tongs, stuff like that. I've got this light that actually goes between this yellow and with this little switch right here, goes between a yellow. It goes to a both. Now, I don't know if you can tell right there that it's a both. It's a yellow and a white. Just a white, back to the yellow. And you can actually dim it or brighten it up. Runs off of a little battery pack. I have two. I'm gonna charge my phone off of one, and this one runs the light. And I actually got that at AutoZone, of all places. It's an overland light, but it just connects to that bar with those orange ties, and it lights this whole place up really good. And I mean, there is no wind in here. There's no way for there to get any water in here. I went ahead and closed the door, put the bungee on there, and pushed it over the corner from in here. And then I have my bed set up, a sleeping bag and a pillow. And I can almost stand completely up in here. I'm a little hunched over, but that's okay, because most of the time I'm in here, I'm gonna be sitting down anyway. Got my cooler with my food and my drinks in it. They can also be used as a chair while I'm cooking or whatever. And when you lay on the bed, oop, see, my feet have room. I mean, not much room. I mean, I'm hitting the tarp, but just to kind of lay like I normally would, I've got plenty of room there. And my head's not hitting the toolbox. So I've got plenty of space there, and I'm on a nice, comfortable military surplus cot. Have this whole back for storage or used as a table or anything like that. And also the wheel well here can also be used kind of like a table. It's all set up, and there's no wind in here at all. It is completely warm in here right now, and the only thing warm in it's my body heat. Like I said, it's pretty high because of the kayak mounts. If the kayaks were in here, it would be even taller. And that's the great thing about this setup is that with the kayaks on there, I can still do this with this tarp. Rotate it around the other way with the kayaks up there, I can still set this up in a hurry to be a place to sleep. If I'm at a rest area or random campground or anything like that, I can set this up real quick and be in bed in about 30 minutes, or at least inside. And like I said, it's like 55 right now, which doesn't sound bad, but it's rainy, it's windy, and it's cool. It's real cool for this time of year. And it's supposed to get down into the 40s tonight, and I will have no problem heating this. I can use that stove, or I can use my little heater that I have, my little buddy heater. I can use it, and one bottle of propane should keep me warm in here multiple nights. Like, that little buddy heater should be able to run me out of here, because no wind can get through this tarp, unlike a tent. And also, this is 100% waterproof, and I'm completely dry. I mean, this is open. Like, it goes down to the ground here and on the other side. And even at the feet and the back here, technically all runs to the ground. But it's windy. It's really windy outside right now. And the tarp's barely moving. Part of that's because we are blocked by trees. And the other part of that is that it's really well secured with all of the bungee cords. And that's the only way it's secured. Now you could, in theory, I could take this side here, make a short side. So if I use that other side as my short side, take a long side, and I could run this out if it was summertime and actually have with two poles, could have like a canopy outside area as well. And if you ran two poles up off the truck bed, off the tailgate, you could have it opened up like that to where your feet is also elevated, so that you would also just have that open. But since it's not summertime and it's supposed to get pretty cool tonight, it's all closed up. So we'll do this again in the summer, and I'm going to even do this further into the winter, probably in February or so. It's late October now. I'm probably going to do this into February when it's the coldest it gets in Mississippi, and see how warm it stays in here. But right now, I could 100% sleep like I am without even getting in my sleeping bag. It is completely comfortable in here. and that's at low 50s, upper 40s, and tonight it's supposed to get into the mid 40s, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but right now the wind's blowing really bad, and the tarp is just barely moving. I mean, it's going to move some, and if it starts downpouring, you're going to hear it, but I'll be 100% dry. Nothing's getting through this heavy-duty tarp. This is a 12 by 24 tarp I got at Walmart for 20 bucks. Don't get the ones in the camping section. They're $35. Get the ones in the, like, automotive section. They're 20 bucks. Or at least this one was. It's actually starting to rain a little bit. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but it's starting to rain just a little bit. Tonight we are going to have minute steaks and potatoes, and I have got a dessert or like snack for later that I've never had before. I'll show you all that. And yeah, I think that's really about it for right now. We're all set up. I'm completely warm and dry and comfortable. And I'm actually more surprised by this than I thought I would be. I thought this was going to be the biggest pain in the butt. It was going to be extremely difficult, and it wasn't going to work out the way I wanted it to. I was starting to think how I could use 2 tarps to cover the truck, because I didn't think one was going to be big enough. But one is plenty big enough. I mean, that's all. Actually, this whole wall is built off the extra off of this side. And it's still not really pulled tight. Doesn't need to be. I mean, I have a drop wall for water to run off of, and then this top here slants back towards the cab of the truck, so the water will run onto the cab of the truck. All the other water will run off the end of the tailgate. And there's no wind in here. I'm not going to get wet unless there's a hole in this tarp somewhere. It is brand new, so I hope there's not. But this was simple to set up and easy to do. Just off this rack that I had. And I was kind of hoping that's how it would go, and I was hoping that's how it would be, because I would really like this truck to be, I can drive anywhere I want, throw a tarp on it, and I'm good to go for the night, for a week, for a month. I mean, I can stay in here pretty indefinitely without getting wet or blown out of it because of wind. And I don't think it's going to be very hard to heat. I figure it's going to get really hot in here when I go to cook later. During the summer, you open the sides up, open the front up with some sticks. You just run some sticks as your end poles for the part off the end of the tailgate. Open it up, you'll have airflow, and you can stay in here then too. The only thing it won't do is stop like stuff from falling on you. Or if you had a bunch of snowfall, it would start to sag. And so you would have to adjust for that, maybe pull it tighter or anything like that. Which can be done. Or you could run some ridge poles across the top up here and brace it, and if it snowed, you'd still be good to go. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to hang out for a little while, relax, and when it's time to cook, y'all see me again. Alright, hey guys, so it's supper time. The rain in here gets a little loud, and it got a little bit cooler, so I had to put my hoodie on. I'm not sure you guys can even hear me, but we got our red skin potatoes cooking up right there. Little Cajun seasoning on them. I'm gonna get this onion cut up to add to that, and then we got some minute steaks that I'm gonna cook up in the leftover grease and stuff in the pan. Using Slappy Mama seasoning and all that. This table works out. This works really well as a table because I'm sitting on my cot using my cooler lid as a table. Works out awesome. So I'm gonna get this cut up, get it put in there, keep cooking, and listen to it rain. So there are our minute steaks all seasoned up, seasoned with this Richard's seasoning. Here, a friend of mine gave this to me. It comes out of North Carolina. I think you can order it online from their website, which is, I guess, right there. But This stuff is fantastic. I love it. It is so good on everything. So while I'm waiting on those potatoes and stuff to cook, let's go ahead and talk about our shelter a little bit. It has been downpouring on and off all night. I'm completely dry. I am warm. Got my little where's it at? My little buddy heater there running. We are enjoying a Leigenkugel Oktoberfest, considering it is that time of year. And we're just hanging out, having a good time. I say we, I mean me. I'm the only one in here. The downside to the shelter is I should have put that moving blanket on this cot before I got on the cot, and the sleeping bag is letting a little bit of cool air in. That's just me being a baby. I'm nitpicking at this point. When we do this again, because I am going to do this again, I think I'm going to change a few things up, make it a little more homey, maybe. Because, I mean, I got plenty of space. I've got plenty of storage space. I like using the cooler as a table. That works really well because sitting on the cot doesn't bother me. Using the toolbox as a table or a place to store stuff or hold stuff works out great. And then all this free space here. And I mean, I can hang stuff below the... So if I had to stay in here for a long period of time, I could definitely make it better. But the next time we stay in here will probably be like a 2-night thing, maybe, hopefully. Here in a week or two. Be able to do that and see if we can just make continuous improvements to it. Make it maybe faster to set up, faster to whatever. I like the light. I think the light's the perfect amount of light, especially if you're actually in here. I like the cooking setup. You know, I just need to do dishes. You're pretty good to go. And if I brought my camp sink out of the house with me, I could do dishes. Or I could buy another camp sink and be able to do dishes. And actually probably find a way to set it up where I could do dishes in here and it just run right out the truck. But yeah, I have no complaints. I'm comfortable. I'm about to be full. So it definitely worked out real well. I think I'm going to show you guys how to do this kind of same setup on a truck without a rack on it. So there won't be a rack on it, and I'll show you guys how to set up a tarp cover for it, where it's high, where you can sit up in it and enjoy it. Well, I'm gonna get back to cooking and see y'all in a few. All right, guys, here's dinner. You got those minute steaks with those roasted red potatoes. That little stove right there did great at warming this. You can see the steam coming off the food. Warming this truck bed tent thing, whatever you want to call it, truck bed shelter, the whole time I was cooking. It got warm enough that I actually cut the heater off completely. I'm 100% comfortable. I'm going to smash on this food and I'll see y'all in a little bit. So I've been 100% comfortable this entire time. I haven't froze. I did end up actually taking and getting that moving blanket out of the toolbox to help keep me a little warmer. Because it is, I mean, it's not cold in here, but I mean, I can see my breath. See? And I mean, I just cut the stove off. It's warm in here. You can see all the steam rising from my food. So I'm going to eat, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the shelter, and then I got a surprise for you guys, something I've never had before, something I've never done before. We'll do that, and then I'm going to crash out for the night. Alright guys, the dinner is over. It was fantastic. I loved it. It tasted great. The coolest part about that was dinner was completely cooked with stuff that was already in my truck. Propane cooker, everything that goes in this bag. So like that cook set, the propane cooker with the pan, actually the oil and the seasonings, all except for that one seasoning back there, go in this bag, and they go on top of the truck. They go in that black box on the top of my truck for like fishing and stuff. I can cook fish and stuff like that. It's one of those hush puppy mix. in that bag. Well, that's really cool. I carry all of that with me. I carry a lot of gear with me most of the time. The only thing that's in here right now that was not already in here is the sleeping bag, the cot, and the heater. But I'm gonna hang out for a little while, relax, finish off another Leigenkugel, which is a great Leigenkugel Oktoberfest great beer. Went really good with that food, and I still have all of that. I ate that. I ate one piece and a bunch of potatoes, and I'm gonna save the rest of it for later in case I get hungry, or breakfast in the morning. I'd throw it in the pan, heat it back up, everything will be fine. I told you guys I had a surprise for you. I'll show you that when I finish my beer and relax for a little bit. I'll see y'all in a few. Alright guys, I'm sorry the lighting sucks. I'm actually running out of power, and this color uses the least amount of power. For that little LED strip, my little charging block thing is just about out of power. I have one that's completely out of power. Because I did have to charge my phone off of it so I can continue the video. But I did tell y'all I had a little treat. I got some Jiffy Pop. Never had Jiffy Pop before, never used it. I thought it'd be cool to use a little propane stove and make the Jiffy Pop. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna light this thing up. We're gonna make Jiffy Pop. See how it turns out, see how it tastes. Like I said, never had it before. And when it comes to the running out of power, that's really why I want one of those, they call them Jackery, solar powered like generators. I think that would be awesome to be able to put in here. I'll put the panels up on the top of the truck, up on the roof. I could run me a little cord in here, set it up, and be able to run my light, be able to run a heater, one of them little weird AC unit things that I found that I think would be really cool that we're going to try out this summer. But without one of those, it's a little difficult, and they're really pricey. They're like $1,500 to $2,000, but I do plan on eventually getting one because I think it would be cool just for camping and survival and stuff like that in general, just to have one, just be able to leave it in the truck, and when I need it, I can pop up the panel, charge it, and it's good to go. And since there's no gas or fuel, you can actually run it inside of your vehicle to run like one of those little mini fridges or something like that without having to pull off of your vehicle's battery. But I think we're going to do a couple of different way the channel's kind of going to go here for the winter and stuff like that, maybe even into the summer. As long as I'm camping by myself, we're going to camp out of the back of the truck. It's easy, it's simple. I have all the space I need with the rubber mat in the floor. I have good insulation. Like, I'm warm right now. I do have my heater on. It's on low though, on the lowest setting. It's completely warm in here and I'm completely comfortable. I do have one complaint, and that's this sleeping bag is a two-person sleeping bag, which means it's not as insulated as it should be. So I'm gonna have to get a better sleeping bag, a one-person sleeping bag, because my feet do tend to get a little cold. But adding the moving blanket to the cot, or maybe even just bringing another blanket would help. But adding the moving blanket to the cot definitely helped. It gives me that little bit of insulation, so there's not I'm not laying directly on the cot material, and there's not that air gap below my butt. But with the heater in the floor, that's heating the bottom of it. I'm warm and I'm good. So I'm gonna get this lit and we're gonna make some Jiffy Pop. All right, so we got it going. It says when you start hearing sizzling, you're supposed to start shaking it and moving it in a motion. So we're gonna start doing that. I've never made Jiffy Pop before. I don't know how long this is gonna take. I don't know if my heat's too high. I mean, I don't know. Oh, it's popping. Just let it pop till the foil is completely extended. I don't know how much popcorn's in here. Yep. Just to move it in a circular pattern pretty quickly, so that's what we're doing. Everyone know how long it takes to make Jiffy Pop? I guess we're gonna find out. Oh, here it goes. Look at it. It's growing. Alright, this is once it slows down to remove it from heat. I'm going to say that's slowed down good. Let's set that right there. Let's set it over there. Kill the heat coming off the burner. And then you're supposed to rip it open with a fork. Supposed to rip it open with a fork. I don't have a fork. I mean, I do somewhere, but we're just gonna, yeah, we're just gonna to release the steam. Oh yeah, looks good. I think I burnt it. It might be a little burnt. As I said, never made Jiffy Pop before. I thought I was doing it right. Maybe I wasn't moving it fast enough. I don't know. Maybe it's a skill. Maybe making Jiffy Pop's a skill because I burnt some of it. Don't know. I didn't mean to burn it. Like I followed the instructions, which say place pan on burner when sizzling sound is heard. Continuously shake pan in fast and circular back and forth motion until full is fully expanded. We did that. It says 4 to 7 minutes. So I think I had my heat too high because I did not take 4 to 7 minutes, even close to it. So immediately remove pan from burner when popping sound almost stops. Popcorn will scorch if left on heat burner. Well, I did remove it, but I think I had the heat up too high and cooked it too fast. Oh, let's find out how awful this is. It's not good. Not good at all. Well, oh, it's still popping. I could it's still sitting on that burner. I always heard Jiffy Pop was really good. It might be if you don't cook it so fast. This will be one of those things we try again. It's cheap. I like popcorn, but not burnt popcorn. This stuff's terrible. Next time we'll leave it on the low setting. We'll keep the heat real low and take that 4 to 7 minutes seriously. Ugh, this stuff's awful. So I think I'm going to enjoy some more of my burnt popcorn. Nobody wants to sit here and watch me eat. Ugh, that's terrible. I'm going to settle in for the night, and I'll see y'all in the morning, and we'll have a full conversation about how the shelter worked out for the long period of the night, how warm I stayed, how comfortable I was, the things I think I'm going to change or update or improve on, and stuff like that. So I'll see y'all in the morning. Good morning, guys. I'm enjoying a cup of coffee here. It's pretty early in the morning, about 6:30, 7 o'clock, or it's about 7:30. And last night was nice. I never got real cold. I do have to upgrade my sleeping bag. I think that'll solve 90% of my issues in here. Burned 2 bottles of propane. Trying to keep it warm in here. The first one I ran it on high and fell asleep. The second one ran on low till about 15-20 minutes ago. So there is that. You're going to run through a lot of propane trying to heat this with this thing. That kind of sucks. Propane's $7 and some change for 2 bottles. But if I'd had a better sleeping bag, I wouldn't have needed the heater anyway. Except for maybe to knock the chill out when like you get up, you know, kind of thing. But because it didn't take much to heat this. I'd started making coffee in here and it got warm again. I mean, it is what it is. This is Folgers instant coffee. It's pretty good. I was thinking about staying another night, but I got stuff I got to do tomorrow. So, yeah, so on the shelter upgrades that need to be done, I need to, I guess, get another battery pack so I can run my light. More propane. I got to come up with a way to relieve myself without getting off of the truck, because that up and down sucks. A funnel with a hose or something in it. Better sleeping bag. Could, depending on how long you were going to stay, I could come up with like a sink system or something like that. That would work also. Kind of use the same funnel to funnel the water to the ground. All kind of just depends on how long you were going to stay in it. I would like to take it somewhere and stay a week or two in it and see what I need to adjust, but I just don't have that kind of time off work. But overall, it was a great night. I mean, I ate good, I slept good. Oh, I need to bring another pillow. One pillow's not enough. I am a 2-pillow guy. But besides that, man, I stayed warm. I mean, I'm warm now. I'm just sitting here. Really not looking forward to having to take it apart. Put all this stuff up. But besides that, it was a good night. This is 100%. I mean, I'm 100% comfortable. Like I said, I was thinking about staying another night, but got things I got to do tomorrow. So, but I mean, I guess I could stay in here and then go do, no, because I wouldn't get to take it apart till Sunday, and I got to work Sunday night. So that doesn't work. I'm about making some more coffee. So it's pretty good. I drank all of it. It's a little Stanley pot thing. Almost too small. But it really is too small for my propane cooker. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Y'all remember to like and subscribe. Y'all stay frosty, and I'll see you next time.